Hooks in the shadow of the Highway 54 bridge over the Embarrass River, the spot where 59-year-old Andrew Peterson and his 64-year-old wife Laverne launched their fishing boat Sunday afternoon. A half-dozen searchers from the Sheriff's Department and DNR used 3 boats to drag a 1-mile stretch upstream from the area where Laverne Peterson's body was found last night. Family members reported the couple missing yesterday. Neighbors of the rural New London couple say they last saw them loading up their fishing boat on Sunday. Searchers here today say even though this river looks very tranquil, the water level is up some 5 feet from normal. And they say the current is so swift it could cause problems for even the most experienced boater.
And if they haven't been on here for a while, it'd be quite a surprise with this amount of force out on the water.
Could have flipped the boat right over or what?
It could have, but apparently it didn't. They found the boat upright.
Family members watched and waited, but after 5 hours of dragging, searchers failed to locate Andrew Peterson's body. The Peterson son says his parents bought their new fishing boat on Saturday.
Were they experienced fishermen or experienced with a boat? Or?
Experienced fishermen, boat, no. This is the first boat they've ever owned.
The search for the body of Andrew Peterson will continue by boat and airplane until sundown. Jeff Forrest, Action 2 News, Outagamie County. Bar helps her 5-year-old son Joey off the bus each morning. Although you may not notice it, Joey has cerebral palsy.
Did you have a good day?
Yeah.
Where did you work?
At 12.
Next fall, Joey will start attending public school kindergarten classes. His mom is a little apprehensive about that.
Joey isn't old enough to assert his rights himself, and I have to do it for him. The teachers and the therapists don't always know what's best. They don't know him as well as I do.
Today, Joy spent the day with other parents of children with special needs, learning about their child's rights in school and how to stand up for them. Instructors for this parent education project say they're hoping to give parents confidence.
We want them to work with the school system. We don't want them to immediately go out and file a lawsuit against them, but we want them to have the skills to be able to communicate their wants and their needs to school personnel.
Joanne says parents of children with special needs must make an effort to know their child's rights in school and take an active role in the decision-making process.
The help is there, and you have to make what you can of his life is what's important.
And what's important to Joey is heading off to kindergarten with his friends next fall. Jeff Forrest, Action 2 News, Howard. Still feeling the effects of last year's events, fighting a negative image many townsfolk blame on media coverage. On many of the lakes in northern Wisconsin, the ice is still a foot thick in some places, like it is here on Lake Minocqua. Serves as a natural barrier against the controversy spearfishing seems to bring. But in 2 weeks, these waters could be open, and folks in Minocqua aren't quite sure what to expect.
I hope it will be quieter. It's just a shame that, so much had to come of it last year.
Many Minocqua residents refused to discuss the spearfishing issue on camera. Off camera, many expressed genuine optimism that this year will be different.
I think it'll probably be the same as last year, just a few little incidents here and there, but pretty quiet.
Well, I think it'll be more peaceful, yes.
What makes you think that?
Well, I don't know. I think people are getting kind of tired of it, all this monkey business on it.
It's something that you hope will go away, but you can't bury your head in the sand about it.
Minocqua residents hope this spearfishing season will be an uneventful one. The media will leave, and their tiny community will regain its reputation as a recreational paradise in Wisconsin's North Woods. Jeff Forrest, Action 2 News, Minocqua.
Story we reported earlier. Jeff.
That's right, Chuck. Just a few minutes ago, I received confirmation from the shift commander here at the Green Bay Police Department that the 2 subjects that we were talking about earlier in this newscast were indeed the 2 fugitives from the state of Oregon, wanted by the Clackamas County, Oregon Sheriff's Department for the October 7th homicide of an Oregon City, Oregon woman by the name of Deborah Sue Spicer. She was apparently stabbed to death and then thrown off a cliff into the Clackamas River out in Oregon. And police say that they surrounded a building, the Titletown Motel on Green Bay's west side, as we mentioned earlier in this newscast, and they apprehended the 2 suspects who have ties to the Green Bay area. There will be a complete press release a little bit later. We still have very few details in regards to the exact mode of arrest and how these people were apprehended, but we do know that they are the 2 fugitives, Randy Bacorny and Deborah Lynn Bacorny, both 35 years of age, from the Oregon area, and they're the 2 prime suspects in that homicide in Oregon, which occurred October 7th.
Jeff, you said earlier in your earlier report that they were considered armed and dangerous. Did they offer any resistance at all to local police?
Well, right now, Chuck, police are not saying exactly how the couple was arrested. So I have no way of telling you whether that was the case or not. But the emergency response team was called out to help, and for all indications, everything went orderly.
Okay, now when do you expect this news release or the press conference to be held, tonight or tomorrow morning?
They should be releasing quite a few details on this at about 7 o'clock tonight, from what we've been told, but they already have the mugshots of the suspects printed up, so everything is going in smooth order right now.
Okay, thank you, Jeff, and of course we will update that story tonight.
The hands of Shawano High School seniors were busy this morning, opening part of the reward for 4 years of hard work. Jenny Dunleavy and Becky Breitrick were all smiles as they tried on their caps and gowns.
Tonight at 7 o'clock, 170 Shawano High School seniors will put on their caps and gowns and cross this stage to receive their diploma. Despite a Department of Public Instruction recommendation against prayer at graduation, the school will have 2 prayers in tonight's ceremony.
I think we have to make adaptations to our curriculum, to our offerings in schools based upon the needs of our community. And again, I think this issue is just another thing that our community feels there is a need for.
Some Shawano High School seniors say they didn't realize the graduation prayer issue would become so controversial.
I can see how some people might view it as an infringement between the church and state, but I've never heard anybody have a complaint against it.
Some students believe that the majority of their classmates and parents look forward to prayer at graduation.
All the ones I've gone to, I have older sisters and stuff. They've always had prayer, and that just makes it special, I think.
I think that they could change the prayer to a meditation, and that way they could eliminate the religion altogether.
These Shawano seniors say they haven't thought much about the graduation prayer debate. They've been too busy thinking about their own future. Jeff Forrest, Action 2 News, Shawano.
And a check
as lazy, drug-dealing troublemakers and often make racial remarks.
Just like the Hmong, just like the black, we tend to laugh at them. But down deep inside, it hurts. It hurts.
Corpus says many Spanish-speaking people settle here because there is work here for them. They have a dream of making a good enough living to support their families.
Lucy Gill arrived here from Texas in February. She works 40 hours a week for $4 an hour pulling cabbage leaves. And she often tells her friends in Texas about the Green Bay area.
You tell them they should come and live here?
Yeah. More jobs.
Corpus hopes Hispanics and whites will make an effort to understand each other's differing cultural backgrounds. Jeff Forrest, Action 2 News, Brown County.
And Corpus estimates that
today's noon mass at St. Willibrod's Parish in Green Bay said a prayer for Bishop Maida and wondered who will be their new spiritual leader.
Next Monday, Bishop Morneau, who is the auxiliary bishop, will call a meeting of the consultors of the diocese, who at that time will choose an administrator to administrate the diocese until the new bishop is appointed.
DeGroat says the interim administrator will likely be someone from the current diocese administrative staff.
DeGroat says it may take up to 6 months before the Pope appoints a successor to Bishop Maida. Parishioners here today say they're not concerned about what will happen during the interim. They feel the diocese will be in very good hands.
I think that they probably had everything lined up before he left, so that whoever comes in will just take over from where he left off.
Oh, I think we can hang in there for the length of time that is necessary.
Without a bishop, the diocese cannot make any long-term decisions, and no new priests can be appointed. DeGroat says he senses some anxiety, but says parishioners need not worry.
Basic concerns are who's going to be the new bishop and what type of a person will he be.
Diocese officials say that it's unlikely that the new bishop will come from inside the diocese, but it is possible. Jeff Forrest, Action 2 News, Green Bay.